So just to review everything we've talked about today, you will see a lot of added benefit with 3M VHP tape from increasing the strength and durability of your signs, especially those that are in inclement weather, and then just seeing an overall smoother, more finished look to your signs, and then of course decreasing your application time by 50%. So given everything that we've looked at, do you want to look at the investment?
Yeah, I think we should, because the technology sounds good, but I need to understand if we can actually afford it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so here I've put together a little presentation. Right now you can see your current production costs using rivets. So the production time per unit, which you told me was 500 minutes per unit, and this is split up into a constant time of 100 minutes and an assembly time of 400 minutes. And so when you multiply this by your $35 an hour wages, you're getting a labor cost of $291.67 per unit. Add this to your material cost of $200, and you have a total cost of $311.67 per unit, or $9.35 million annually.
Yep.
So then here, if you were to make the switch to 3M VHP tape, we could cut your assembly time down by half, and so your production time per unit would shift from 500 minutes to 300. So obviously that's reflected in the wages per unit, which are now $175. And then your materials cost per unit would be $27.78, which would lead you to a total cost of $202.78 per unit, or just over $6 million annually. And so I do want to note this is with an annual investment of $833,400 per unit, or per year. So then here you can see a little comparison. So obviously our constant costs do not change with rivets or VHP tape. The materials cost does increase a little bit with VHP tape, but that's clearly very offset by the decreased assembly costs. So the future implications of this are that with rivets, you're currently using $9.3 million a year.
Yep.
With VHP tape, that would only be about $6 million a year. So you would see annual savings of $3.2 million. And of course, this is not to mention all of the increased efficiency you have from all of your time savings and your increased customer satisfaction. So how does it sound to you?
It sounds good. I mean, my only concern is with the per unit material cost being $8 more. That could be a little difficult. I've got to sell this to my CFO. Why do I want to make this change? And every time I write a PO for rivets now, he wants me to buy cheaper and cheaper rivets. So now I'm going to go to him with something more expensive, and that could be tough.
Okay. So just to clarify, you're worried that the investment might not be worth the benefit?
Right.
Okay. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, because obviously it is more expensive and you do want to make the best purchase decisions that you can. But I can tell you that I've had several customers in the past who voiced similar concerns that you have, just about spending this much money on tape. And so while they were concerned about that investment, after they started implementing it in their production processes, they saw very quickly they became very convinced of this increased benefit that they were seeing. And so what it turned out to be was that while they were spending this $8 on materials, they were actually paying for increased durability and strength, decreased maintenance costs, and decreased labor time, and of course, most importantly, increased customer satisfaction. And so they found that it was very worth the investment in the end. So does that handle your concern?
I mean, it does from a big picture perspective. I still have the issue that my material budget for this year is already set. It's fixed, and I'm not supposed to go over that.
Okay. So if the budget wasn't an issue, you'd be fine making this investment?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So do you mind me asking, do you ever make any special adjustments to your budget, maybe for some outside strategic investment?
We have in the past, on occasions, not super frequently, but in this case, I'm a little concerned because I would be sticking my neck out for something that to me is unproven.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. I can assure you that I firmly believe that this is an investment that your company would reap a lot of benefit from. If I could just do some quick math here.
Sure.
So that savings of $3.2 million a year, giving your investment of $833,000 a year would lead you to an ROI of about 391%, which obviously is very substantial.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then not even to mention how your production costs are going to decrease like crazy, your production time being cut in half to 200 minutes per unit. When you multiply that by your 2,500 units a month, 12 months in a year, you're saving 100,000 hours just in your labor costs, which obviously is going to have major ramifications for your efficiency and the increased sales you can make, and just all around better your company. So I definitely think that this is an investment that would be worth it in the long run. And if this is still a concern for you, if this really is not an adjustment to your budget that you would want to make, 3M is very good about helping customers find a good financing plan. So that way, if this is a concern for you, you could finance it just a little bit at a time, so that way you can see that added benefit very quickly in the payment process. So would something like that make you more comfortable?
Yeah, I think we could sell that.
Okay, great. So do you have any other questions?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, awesome.